Classical dance art form has got its own boundary or the format, the grammar and the technique, wherein the folk dance is danced for joy, happiness, celebrate the harvest or the weddings or any other functions. There is a very strict training given in classical dance art form, and it has to be learnt through Guru Shishya Parampara. But the folk dance is not such. It can be danced out of their mindset, but there is a rhythm pattern which goes through, which every human being will have inside them. There is a laya or the rhythm which flows through each individual. Suppose any music is played, any person will start tapping their feet or tap, just doing this, giving this beat in their hands. That shows that even a non-trained person will have that rhythm feel.
Classical dances are performed by professional or highly trained dancers. Indian folk dance is the kind of dance that is developed by the people, reflecting their lives often to the local music. It is a dance of common people. The classical dance originates from Natya Shastra, a book written by sage Bharata. Folk dance emerged from the local tradition of the respective state, ethnic or geographic regions.
So humans learn to express their emotions through music, either through vocals or producing rhythm by either clapping or using animal hides or wooden logs, which has now evolved into drums, or using the bamboo shoots which produce sound when the wind passed through, and now has evolved into different woodwind instruments, so on. It has been the case here also in India. We can still have those references. So luckily, folklore has not diminished totally. We get the glimpses of them when we go to villages or to go to tribal settlements and listen or see them performing music. So this music, this way of expression evolved and developed into what we now define as classical music. What happened here is refinement of the notes that's being produced and being sensitive, the notes being made more sensitive, and coming up with new nuances of producing those notes and those transient notes and things like that. So that evolved music became now called as classical music. But when we go and visit these tribal settlements, we come to see that there are similarities also. For example, to say so, in Indian music system, what we call as Mohana or Bhopali in Hindustani can be heard in folklore also. Just that folk music didn't define anything, it's more instinctive, it comes naturally. And classical requires training, rigorous practicing, and planned performing. That's the difference that I see.
Using the mudras or your gestures. We also have different navarasas, and it involves Guru Shishya Parampara and also requires physical exercise, and they have to go through intensive and extensive training to synchronize the dance form. And in Indian classical dance, we have 8 different types of dance form. Folk dance are danced in respective villages or their communities. It is very predominant in rural areas. Folk dances are an integral part of India's tradition and culture. It forms a part of country's unique identity. They are performed to celebrate on a new season, festivals and social occasion. Also, they are accompanied by the musicians. They are full of energy and vitality.
But it is imbibed in human naturally according to the culture. In simple words, we can say classical dance form is a grammatical language and folk dance is a colloquial language. Thank you.
Now, speaking about music, if you see, folk has a easy going beat, whereas classical, it is more complex because it has different ragams and talams, like different beats and rhythms. Also would like to add a point that classical is something which is slow going and has a slow tempo, whereas folk, if you say, it is more lively, fun, and energetic.